before I play the music, I gotta say a big congratulations to Nasir Jones, my favorite MC, Nas, which, by the way, this new Mobb Deep project is coming out on Nas's label, Mass Appeal. For those that don't know, Mass Appeal is doing this campaign right now, in the middle of this campaign right now called Legend Has It, where they're releasing, well, I think it's 8 projects from 8 legendary hip hop artists. They started off with the release of Slick Rick's latest project called Victory. And then they followed up with Raekwon's album, The Emperor's New Clothes. And then we got Ghostface's album, Supreme Clientele 2. And now we're about to get this new Mobb Deep joint. What's it called? It's called Infinite. Mobb Deep's new album, Infinite. And then I think we get the De La Soul album, the new De La Soul album. And then finally, we get Nas's new album produced by DJ Premier. So right now, congratulations is in order for Nasir Jones, not only for this incredible run that he's on musically. By the way, he's featured on all of these projects too. But not only for that, but it has just been announced yesterday that his partnership with Resort World Sports to expand the casino in Queens, New York, has been approved by whatever commission that it had to go through to get to the next level. It's not officially signed and sealed. I believe there's one more level at the end of the year where everything officially gets stamped and starts to get put into motion. I believe there's one more level of this process that they have to go through before it's official, but he was approved to get to that level. You know what I'm saying? Him, alongside his partnership with Resort World Sports, they got Nas as being the face of it, but obviously we know, the whole $5 billion is not coming from Nas. This is a $5 billion project. And so he's linked up with Resort World Sports, and they got Nas as the face of this whole campaign to get this thing done. But nevertheless, it has been approved to go to the final decision-making level. And so congratulations are in order for that. It was some weird shit that did go down with it at the press conference or whatever for it. One of the guys at the commission decided to take some slick shots at Jay-Z. Let me pull up the video to that real quick. So for those that don't know, we've been covering this on this channel, for a few months now. But not only was Nas in this bidding to get this gambling license for New York, but Jay-Z was also one of the major players that was trying to get approved for this license as well in another location. Jay-Z was partnered up with Caesar's Palace or Hard Rock Cafe. I think it was Caesar's Palace. Jay-Z and Caesar's Palace were trying to get approval to have a casino in New York, in Manhattan, in Times Square. And they came under a lot of resistance from the theater industry. The Broadway theater industry gave a lot of resistance toward this. They thought that this was something that wasn't going to be good for their business. They, Jay-Z and Caesar's Palace were putting out a lot of incentives for surrounding businesses and for the local community and all of that, and getting a lot of politicians behind them to back the project, saying how this was going to be good for everybody. They had a situation where everyday people like you and I were going to be able to invest, become investors in the company with as little of a $500 minimum to become an investor, which I thought that was dope. I thought that was an incredible incentive. And it wasn't like they needed the investors to get involved so that they could do what they were trying to do. They already got the money to, do everything that they were trying to do as far as getting the casino up and running and all that. They wasn't trying to do some type of fundraising campaign to get people to invest funds so that they have the money to do it. They already had, I think, theirs might have been more than $5 billion. I forgot exactly what their numbers was, but I think their bid was for like $7 billion, if I'm not mistaken. So they already had the bread to do what they was trying to do, and all of the donations and stuff that they were planning on giving to surrounding communities and organizations out there in New York City. But they were giving, the local community the opportunity to invest and get in early on the future profits that would come from this endeavor with as little as $500. So meaning everyday people like you and me would have been able to get involved in something like that. And so I thought that was dope. But like I said, they faced a lot of pushback from the theater industry, who's been around New York City for probably since the beginning of New York City, right? And so they got a lot of power, they got a lot of connections, and they threw their weight around and they got that shit shot down. And so Jay-Z and Caesar's Palace were denied at this level. They were not approved to proceed to the final level. But Nas and Resort World Sports were. So of course, Nas and Jay-Z are forever linked to each other. You know what I'm saying? Even though when I broke down this whole thing, how everything was going down, I explained how Nas and Jay-Z, even though they're both vying for these 3 licenses that are going to be made available, they weren't actually in competition with each other, like a head-to-head competition with each other, more as being competition with some of these other entities, because Nas's location is in Queens, Jay-Z's location is in Manhattan. So there were other entities that were trying to get licensed for the Manhattan location, and there were other entities that were trying to get licensed in Queens as well. You know what I'm saying? So they weren't in direct competition with each other per se, but that's going to be the perception no matter what, especially since they're being put out there as the faces to try to get this thing approved and all of that. But that's how people are going to look at it. That's how people are going to react to it. I was hoping that they both got approved. There was an opportunity for both of them to get approved. I thought it would have been dope if both of them actually got approved. And like I said in the first broadcast I did talking about this, I'm not really sure about all of the ramifications that this is going to have on the actual community. I can only go by what these entities have put out there as far as their incentives about what they're planning to do to benefit the communities. And the things that I've read sound good, but there's always, another side to the coin. And so there could be a situation where people are getting displaced. This could be another, Barclays Center type of situation where, this is just a Trojan horse for people to get displaced and for the community to become gentrified and all of that. It could be a situation like that. I don't know. I don't know. And so if there was a situation, if there is something like that, then, I would have to, look at that and, give some official criticism. But I haven't seen it. I don't know exactly. All I've seen is positive. So for me, like I said, I thought it would be dope if both of them actually got approved. But that didn't happen. Jay-Z got denied. Nas got approved. And so hopefully he makes it through the final level. And that would be incredible. But like I said, at the commission, this guy decided to take shots. Let me share my screen. Where we at? Hold on. Let me share my screen with y'all real quick. And we're going to get into the music. We hit it for the reaction. And we're going to get into that in just a second. Let me just, where we at? Okay, this. Pull that over here. Do that like that. And this was at the Queensboro president takes a shot at Jay-Z after Nas and Resort World's $5.5 billion casino expansion is approved. So check this out.
Done without everybody here. With that being said, I'm getting ready to vote, and there's a theme in Queens, and I know Nas is a part of this. Queens get the money. Sorry, Jay-Z, we win again. I just had to rub that in. You can let the Brooklyn Borough president know that I send my regards to him. With that being said, I vote aye.
So that was the Queensboro president putting in his official vote to approve Nas and Resort World for the casino expansion. And, I guess in a playful way, he decided to take a shot at Jay-Z and the president, the borough president of Brooklyn as well. And I get it. But, you know, to me, like I said, it wasn't a direct competition between Jay-Z and Nas. I would like to have saw both of them, you know, get approved for this. But it is what it is. Congratulations to Nas. He's on an incredible run right now. I think, without question, this is hands down the greatest late career run in hip hop ever. You know what I'm saying? With all the work that he's been doing pretty much ever since what was it, the Nasir project that came first, or the Lost Tapes 2 project that came first? Around that time, 2018, when he started to release music more prolifically, he did the Nasir project with Kanye, and he released the Lost Tapes 2. And then after that, he started to go on that 6-album run with Hit Boy, and he's been doing all of these films, producing films and documentaries and all of that stuff. He did the Biz Markie joint. He did the DJ Ralph McDaniels joint about Video Music Box. He did one about the Supreme Team, a few other films. He got some other stuff coming out about this chess player. He's doing a lot in film. He put together that whole award ceremony, the Masters, what's it called? I forgot what it's called, where they celebrating a lot of the hip hop legends, not only celebrating them and giving them awards, but also putting some paper in their pocket, making sure that they got health care and things like that. And then, you know, his partnership with Mass Appeal, all of the music stuff that they're doing in this whole campaign that they on right now with the Legend Has It. Just all of this stuff that he's been doing, like I said, since 2018 up to now. This is the greatest, hands down, late career run that we've seen in hip hop. So salute to the God, Nasir. Congratulations are in order, man. Much success to you. Much success to you. Now, let's get into my reaction to this new music. New Mobb Deep, Taj Mahal, new Love the Genius, called Petals, featuring Vincent Rubin. Which one do y'all want me to play first?